Oh, how are all you ladies and gentlemen doing today? My name is King History, back in with another video, Black Power. And in today's video, our topic is going to be about a spotlight on strong black men. Dr. Claud Anderson, Assistant Secretary in the United States Department of Powernomics, under Jimmy Carter administrations in 1977. Now he's the president of economics and the Harvard Institute. Dr. Claud Anderson says that racism is an economic issue. Dr. Anderson says that as black people, we need to practice group economic and group politics. Dr. Claud Anderson says that we as black people have to own and control businesses to gain economic power and independence. Dr. Anderson says that when black are born black, in this society, we're not born into wealth. White people are born in society with 87% of wealth to start him off in their life. Dr. Anderson also says that racism is a team sport. So how can you be black, be racist? How can we be racist towards one another, but our businesses are going down? How can we be racist when we don't have no economic power? When we don't own and control our businesses in the communities, how can we be racist? Dr. Anderson says that we as black people spend 97% to 90% of our income out of our community. So by not going to the local African-American store, by not going to that liquor store owned by that African-American man, we're hurting ourselves in economical wise. We're going to the Hispanics or the Caucasians or the Indians. We need to be helping ourselves in the communities because our economic and our money is just going down. We don't have no control or say so because we're doing it to ourselves. That not pretending in groups, economic, and the example. Dr. Anderson says if we black people come together, we would be a threat towards other societies. If we all work together as blacks and African Americans, we all come together and we all spend in the communities, we would be a threat towards everybody else. Other shops like Caucasians, Hispanics, Indians, they wouldn't know what to do because they'll be losing so much money because we're not helping them out no more. Do you know how much money an average person loses without the African American coming and buying from their store? Dr. Anderson says that the Constitution of America was built against black people. No for our black people, Dr. Anderson says that negative impact of slavery was never correct, and social pathological ways infect and imposed on black since 1860. It was never been addressed by force. The Dred Scott decision, black men had no right whites, so us blacks didn't have no rights. Whites had rights, Chinese had rights, Mexicans had rights, Indians had rights, Irish had rights, people, but not blacks. Dr. Anderson says that Native people, Indian, were paid to the police and slaves, but slaves and upholds slaves to get their benefits. So Native Americans sided within the South and the Civil War because they did not want to give their slaves reparation or freedom. Dr. Claud Anderson says, been speaking on this behalf of black empowerment, black education for over 40 years. And then I want to thank a strong black man. Thank you, Dr. Anderson, for your love for black people. Black power!
Black power!
Thank you. That I didn't do.